Hello, everybody. This is Michele Amburgey, the Awakener, and I'm here with Awoken Messages on Awoken TV. I'm so excited to be here. January 1st, 2021. We made it. If you're here watching, you made it too. Oh my gosh. 2021. Thank you for all of your blessings. Thank you for prompting me to do things and take steps I probably never would have. But holy moly, let's hope for a better year this year. I just want to welcome everybody. I have not been on for a couple of weeks. End of the year was crazy with the holidays and New Year's and everything. So I took a little bit of a break, not actually deciding to, kind of how it happened. So I've missed you all. I've missed doing Awoken Messages, but we're back and I promise to get back on a more regular schedule. So again, welcome. January 1st, 2021. Hallelujah. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the energies of 2021. I'm going to kind of go through the year and just show you where I'm seeing the ebbs and flows in a couple different things. And also, what I want to do, and for this year, what I kind of want to do is to start with a prayer and start doing a little prayer work. Get everybody used to being able to pop in here when you come in, to just sit and quiet yourself and get into a little bit of a prayerful sacred mode, and then we'll move into the work that we do. The prayers that I do don't come from any particular tradition. The prayers that I do are really kind of more channeled from the higher realms, from my higher self, your higher self even, and to set the energy for what we're doing here today. And so I just welcome all of you. Just take a nice deep breath, just breathing in. And breathing out. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. You can put your hands in prayer pose. You can put your hands just facing up. You can set them in your lap, whatever is comfortable. I promise you that God is creator, eternal loving presence, whatever you call this that we're opening up to, that we're praying to, that we're calling in, that we're asking for guidance. They don't care what you're doing with your hands. But for you, for your nervous system, for your beingness, it's always good to be comfortable and to be in something that's meaningful for you. The way I was raised, we prayed either with our hands up or with our hands crossed. And that was holding the sacredness of our hearts. So let's just take another nice deep breath. Let's breathe in and breathe out. And we'll begin. Beloved beings of love and light, angels, archangels, and all of the angelic realms of love and light, holy ones, be with us. I call upon all of everybody who's watching, everybody's guides and angels of love and light. We call upon our master guides of love and light. And holy ones, we call upon Christ consciousness, which is the incoming energies of this new earth. Christ consciousness, the awareness of unconditional love, the beingness of unconditional love. We call upon the mighty I am presence. I am that I am, declaring that we understand that all that is also within us, that the oneness of creation is perfected in us. And so we just call upon those beautiful energies, and we allow ourselves to open up to the inpouring sacredness of our time together. And beloved ones, we call upon all of the ascended masters, holy ones of such wisdom and grace. Beloved ones, guide us with your wisdom and bless us with your grace. We call upon healing guides of love and light. We call upon the animal guides of love and light. And we call upon the dolphins and whales, because they're a big part of humanity right now as we're moving into the new earth. Ooh, and we just begin to feel. And as you do prayers like this, it's always good to kind of slow down and feel those incoming energies. Feel that presence that you're invoking, that you're inviting to come in. Beloved ones, we call upon all of the spiritual hierarchies of love and light. We call upon the Kohans and Maha Kohans, the lords of the seven rays. We call upon our benevolent ancestors. We call upon those great beings of love and light who have gone before us, the gurus, the teachers, the saints, and the holy ones. Beloved ones, we call upon the Elohim, the great creator gods, those of love and light who are here as the original creators, as prime creators, who are here to assist us, especially during this time of co-creation of a new earth, a new paradigm. And we call upon Mother God and Father God. We call upon blessed Mother Earth, our home for now. Our home for now. It's home for our bodies, our physical vessels, our physical vehicles, our earthly beings. And so being in touch, being in honor of, and being connected to Mother Earth is appropriate and necessary. Beloved ones, we call upon Father Sky, the celestial lights, the celestial beings, star seeds, planetary families. Beloved ones, we just welcome all of you who are of love and light into our space here. And we call upon universal mind, source, the all that is, whatever words we use to invite in that eternal loving presence. Maybe we call prime creator, original creation, whatever words we use. We invite that energy in. We invite in the remembrance of who we are in all of this hierarchy. We invite in the energy and the awareness of oneness, that all that we invite in is truly just an out picturing of who we truly are. We allow that awareness to sink in. And beloved ones, I ask that each person listening to this, no matter what time, where they are, what is going on, I ask that each and every one be blessed, that they be blessed with their greatest desire, that they be blessed with awareness, with consciousness of their oneness, of their completeness, of their perfection. And holy ones, I know that when we ask these things, they are done. And then I call for a beautiful crystalline archangelic Merkaba to be put around all of this that we're doing right now. And I ask Archangel Metatron to hold the heavenly point, and Archangel Sandalphon to hold the earthly point. And I call upon Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Uriel to join with Metatron to hold the star tetrahedron and the divine masculine energies. And I call upon Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Haniel, and Archangel Shamuel to join with Sandalphon to hold the earth tetrahedrons and the divine feminine energy. And Holy One, we understand the Merkabah to be the container for our own light bodies, for the fullness of who we are as Christed God beings, full of light, full of love in our completion and perfection. Holy ones, I ask for anyone struggling with physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual healing. I call in the divine blueprint of each and every person. And we ask that our energy matrices align with this original perfection. And this original perfection is an individual perfection, but it's also that perfection for humanity, that we might all remember who we are, how powerful we are, and that we are whole and healed right now. Sacred ones, we thank you so much for all of the blessings. We thank you for all that we have, all that we are, and we thank you for the miracles and blessings that are yet to come. And one last thing, I call upon Divine Mother in all of her many forms to wrap our Merkaba in beautiful pink light, in unconditional love, that we might be bathed in this love, that we might be bathed in the remembrance that we are love, and that we might be healed in this love, for love is all there is. Sacred ones, we thank you. We thank you for all of your presences. We thank you for everyone who's here listening to this, who are receiving this beautiful blessing. And we just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen, amen, and amen. And I always just like to put my hands in prayer right in front of my heart and just take a moment and silently say thank you. And something else you can say, guide me, show me the way, show me who I am. And then I invite you to take a nice deep breath, breathing in and breathing out. And just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. There is a beautiful energy here in this new matrix we've stepped into, 2021. Some people ask what this is. We're seeing this more and more with people. This is called a light language. There are many different ways for it to be transferred, to be shared, to be shown through the fingers is one, or the hands. It's actually almost like energy coming off of the hands. It comes through light language, through the voice. It oftentimes comes through the eye. And so we just invite all of that. Here with Zoom, when I go off over in the corner, it looks very ethereal, doesn't it? It looks kind of crazy wild. I love it. But, we can see through into the multiple dimensions that way, right? Good stuff. Good stuff, that prayer. So 2021, I hope nobody is expecting 2021 to be this wonderful time where everything is fixed, because we're still in for a lot of ups and downs, a lot of drama. But what has happened through 2020 is many of us have kind of gotten our feet underneath us. We've kind of gotten our act together. Many of us have come to the conclusion that there is more to life than work, 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 work. There's more to life than spend, spend, gain, gain, consume, consume, consume. It's one of the blessings of 2020. So many of us have deepened our spirituality, deepened our spiritual practices. So many of us have found things about ourselves that we didn't realize were there. Good or bad, understanding there is no bad. Anything that came up within you that needed to be dealt with, anything that came up around you, other people's behavior, other people's activity that made you realize that you have some work to do is beautiful and a blessing. In this 3D earth plane, where we have all been existing for quite some time, we are not expected to be perfect. We're not expected to know it all. It's a learning place. It's a school. Earth has been a school for all of us for a long time. And it's important that these awarenesses of our imperfection come up, for us to address them, to realize that they're there. You can't address them if you don't know they're there, right? To take a look at it and to transform it, to transmute, to transcend it, to rise above it. One of the best ways to do that is through prayer meditation. Because through prayer meditation, especially when you use it as a technology, like the prayer that we just did, is a very powerful technology. And what happens is when you begin to use this technology, you raise your frequency. The way we release, the way we process, the way we remove lower vibrating shadow energy is by raising our frequency. It's not that we have to go in and beat up the bad things and ourselves in the process, We just raise our frequency. Oh, yeah, I still have a little anger in there. And maybe you can even recognize where the anger, comes from. We all have a little anger from our childhood. We all have a little anger at our parents, little nuggets, little nuggets. The more work that you do, your love and your acceptance and your honoring of yourself, mostly, doesn't really even have a lot to do with your parents, raises your frequency above that, and you transcend those things. Now, granted, there are a lot of processes to help people heal, and that's beautiful. It's beautiful, and don't be afraid to use them. But understand, they all eventually lead you towards raising your frequency, right? It's kind of like carrying rocks in your pockets. Every time you take a rock out and drop it, every time you take a rock out and you take a look at it, it's like, boy, this rock is pretty, and it's served me really well. Maybe I'll put that one back in my pocket. You're still going to carry that weight, right? But one day you're going to pull that rock out and go, I'm ready to let go of it. And that's kind of what the process is here as humans and in this third dimensional plane, as we are shifting through fourth dimension into fifth, even sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th dimension. And that's a whole other show to talk about, because no one really knows exactly what they are, but they are becoming apparent. They're becoming perceivable. But right now, we're aiming for fifth dimension, which is freedom from anything that's not love. It's really basically, in a nutshell, what it is about. It is that new earth. It is that new paradigm. And we're all working towards this, especially those of us that are here for this purpose, like I am. I am the awakener. I am here to awaken people to their beautiful light. I'm here to awaken people to all of the possibilities. I'm here to awaken people so that they remember who they are, and that we begin to remember that we are working in an illusionary field. We're living in illusion. We're living in that hologram that we've all created together. We are a group consciousness, and we're affected and guided and kind of pushed around by that group consciousness. But as we realize our sovereignty, as we realize who we are as true light beings, and dare I say, as gods and goddesses, as beings that are so big and powerful, we're even beyond this universe. We are eternal, we are infinite, and we are limitless. When we begin to understand even a little bit of that, the illusions begin to drop away. The delusion of the group consciousness begins to diminish, and we all begin to awaken. Your awakening is my awakening. And it's not something we get to. Everybody get in the car, we're going to the awakening. That isn't how it works. It's within our own self, our own beingness. So again, you were going to hear this every single time. Prayer and meditation, prayer, meditation, prayer, meditation, prayer, meditation. One of the things that I'm doing this year, my 2021 promise to myself and all of creation, is getting my YouTube channel up, where I'm going to be offering prayers, different kind of prayers. And also I'll be doing like this prayer that we did today. I'm going to have one up there so that you can grab that and maybe do that prayer for yourself, listen to it and join in with it, learn it, begin to do it with yourself. I'll also be doing some meditations. YouTube is amazing. I do want to recommend to some of you there's a man named Steve Noble that has beautiful meditations. He truly is a light being. He truly is of I am that I am. And so someone I can recommend to you while I'm working on getting my stuff up, because we're all part of this beautiful matrix. So sending that out for you. I also will be bringing in intergalactic angel messages. I am the intergalactic angel messenger. I was given that title, if you will, last year, as well as the awakener. So I'm getting like little titles and stuff. And the reason Spirit's been doing that with me is to kind of get me up to speed as to who I am and why I'm here. And that's a gift that 2020 gave me. It's like I'm much clearer on who I am. For so long, I've been a psychic. I've been an intuitive. I've been a life coach. I've been an energy healer. And now all of that has been tied up into a beautiful bow, because everything that I do, everything that I share, every client that I work with, the goal of all of those processes is awakening. Is remembering who you are, remembering why you're here, remembering what brings you joy. If you think about it, we have, what, 8 billion people on this planet who are struggling, especially now. um, Not everybody, but the majority of people are struggling. But if you look at the earth and how beautiful she is, how glorious, how abundant, how pure, how gracious, how generous she is, how healthy she is in her own nature. It doesn't make sense that God, Goddess, Creator, our own creative self, would send us into this beauty just to struggle, just to be miserable, just to suffer. Doesn't make sense. The suffering has been brought on by our belief system that we're separate from Mother Earth, that we're separate from each other, that we're separate from God, Goddess, Creator, or whatever word you use for that. There is no separation. We're all in this together. And what has happened is we really have forgotten. And as we begin to remember, that illusion of separation will begin to crumble. And that's part of what we are already seeing on this planet. It's part of what 2020 has been about, where we all had to stop doing what we're doing. Many of us had to stop working. Many of us had children stop going to school. Many of us had to stop going outside, going to church, going to play, going to our places. And we all had to just kind of stop. And in that stopping, it's almost like, metaphorically, the world stopped turning so that we could catch our breath, get our feet underneath us, awaken a little bit to who we are, to begin to appreciate Mother Earth. How many of you guys noticed, especially in that, and I'm in California, and I realize it kind of rolled across the planet, but wherever you were, when these lockdowns came initially, these quarantines came, this time of go in the home and stay there, how quiet the world was. How quiet it was. How many pictures did we see of places that humans usually tread in Mother Earth, how Mother Earth renewed herself so quickly? How many of you saw or experienced empty streets in cities? How many of you had to get on the freeway near your home and there's nobody on it? How many of you sat outside in your backyard, on your balcony, on your patio at night, and you didn't hear the hum of cars? You didn't hear the freeway. And even overhead, you didn't have the airplanes flying. Didn't have the police helicopter flying. It was quiet. And we got to experience that quiet. And that quiet is what helped us to regain our balance, to prepare us for this year, 2021, which is a year of healing. But my guidance tells me it's still going to be wild. There's still going to be a lot of ups and downs. So I just want to bring your awareness to some of the gifts of 2020, moving forward into 2021. We know, with all of the election stuff and all the crazy stuff going on here into January, I think to January 6th, there's a lot of election stuff. There's a lot of that infighting and that going back and forth, and frankly, whatever that is, we're going to see some push and pull. We're going to see a lot of covering up. We're going to see a lot of people kind of like, oh my gosh, this is an image Archangel Michael is showing me. I got to share it with you guys. Luckily, I'm on a platform where I can. Where you know when a dog or a cat goes poop and then they cover. There's a lot of people, especially the powers that be, those that we have turned our trust to, are doing a lot of the kicking the sand over the poop, trying to cover up things that are going on. We're going to see that. But the thing that 2020 started was the uncovering, the unraveling of the illusions. That is going to continue into 2021. We're going to see that throughout this year. I think that we're going to see January is going to be kind of a lot of surprises. And I also feel that people are going to almost like have recalls, like almost like they heard something maybe in August that they would kind of went, But moving into these first 3 months, especially of 2021, a lot of those dots are going to be connected. Like, oh, that's what was going on. Oh, that's what they meant. Oh, so that was the truth of what was going on behind the scenes. We're going to have a lot of that the first 3 months of this year. And it's good because it's really important that we maintain awareness. Doesn't mean you have to go watch the news. I'll be the first one to tell you, don't watch the news. Don't read it. Don't do it, because they're weaving that illusion, and they want to weave it deeply into our minds. They want to weave it deeply into our belief systems. And that's not what this time is about. This time is about being free of that. And think for yourselves, Archangel Michael just said, think for yourselves. Um, Look at, you hear something, but look around you. Does the evidence prove what you're hearing on the news? And a lot of you will find no. Another thing that we're seeing is we are seeing a lot of people getting sick from this virus that we have been hiding from all of 2020. We're starting to see kind of an outpouring of that. And the not the outpouring, but the result of that. And it's funny because I saw something the other day. I'm gonna go controversy here for a minute. And people are saying, well, if the masks work so good, why are all these people all of a sudden sick and the hospitals are full? And I'm in Southern California again, so we're hearing a lot about Los Angeles and how the hospitals are full. They can't take any more people. I know some people that are nurses are saying, yeah, it's pretty hairy, but it's not quite like that. But I'm sure there are different hospitals are experiencing different things. But we have to understand that all of this stuff around what caused us to go in lockdown isn't really what's going on. What's really going on is this shift and reset. And this was a very effective way for God, Goddess, Creator, Spirit, us, to create an opportunity for that. So we're still going to see the crazy. We're still going to see the lockdown stuff. We're still going to see vaccination and all that kind of stuff going on. And I think I think we're going to find that once we get into the spring, and it's funny because Archangel Michael is like showing me these kind of different scenarios. There's several timelines at play right now. But what I was saying, I think, is I was following these timelines. This is how I see future things, even though I am humble enough to know it can change at any time. But I see things in lines, like from where we are now to the potentialities. Some of those timelines are kind of gray and kind of like, no, that's not really at play right now. But some are very bright, some are very thick and strong. So when I was saying, I think, from what I'm seeing here is I feel like what I'm seeing is that after the end of March, moving into April, May, June, I feel like we're going to start seeing this whole virusy thing kind of starting to fade out. It feels like they're going to start saying, oh, everybody got vaccinated, everything is good, blah, blah, blah. But I do feel like there's still going to be something to do with health carrying throughout the rest of this year. I just started hearing about, now they're saying there's a mutated thing of COVID or whatever. It could be that. It could be that. But it's health concerns are still important this year, and we're still going to really have to kind of wear the masks and maybe not be out and about like we were. There's still going to be this energy of lockdown at play, but it's not going to be shocking and dramatic and as scary as it was in 2020. Part of it, 2020, it was new. We were all like, holy hell, what's going on? We're kind of acclimated, so it may make it a little bit easier too. But I do feel like a lot of the drama and the whoa will begin to fade as we move into April. Another thing that I have been shown is as we move into April, May, we might start seeing a drop in some of the housing markets, which there's our other panic thing, right? Not necessarily in the financial markets, which is kind of interesting. I see kind of steadiness in that. I see some dips, but the dips are quick and moving along. I do feel like there is some kind of planned fear thing around the financial markets in that April, May, June time period. It may coincide with some drops in housing market. So if anybody's in the market for buying a house, keep your little eyes and ears open during that time period. Probably May, I'm being told, might be a really good time. If you want to plan ahead or whatever, May, June might be a good time to purchase homes. It seems like there'll be a bit of a drop in that, but overall it's a lot steadier than what we have felt like it's been. Another thing that I see happening is people taking authority over their own lives, and I'm not talking about, oh, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not talking about that. I feel it's responsible that we do wear masks. I hate them. I'm so lucky I work at home. I had a client that I had to go see outside the home in their office for a little bit, and I had to wear a mask. And I was just like, this sucks. I don't know how people do this. I don't know how people do this every day. I couldn't breathe. I had a headache. I felt tired and weak and weird taste in my mouth. It was terrible. I do feel like that the mask thing probably will carry at least through the first half of this year. But I do feel like that people are going to start taking this kind of in hand, kind of finding their own truth in all of this, and not be in a panic state, and also be in that place where they'll wear a mask just to honor each other instead of being this big fight and everything. I feel like maybe it's a little bit of like, fine, we'll do it. But I also feel a lot of that kind of easing up too. I feel like we'll be able, once we get into the summer in June, I feel like we will be able to breathe. Archangel Michael is just like, breathe. So, that addresses the mask, that address the COVID, that addresses, the COVID-19 and this whole pandemic thing to start with, because it is around breathing. And we have to remember breath is life. We were created in the image of God. Life breathed into us. Breath is life. And I think a lot of us have stopped breathing a lot. Well, not completely, obviously, but are not breathing. And something that I do want to share with all of you, um, find, I almost want to say like, find a healing modality that has to do with breathing, breath work. I know Kundalini yoga is about, I do that as well, not as often as I should, kind of fell off getting back to it. But it's about breath, it's about breathing, it's about breathing life into the body again. And I really want to recommend that everyone, me, you, all of us, start taking breath and breathing more seriously, being able to be out in nature, breathing in the oxygen in the trees, by the ocean, in the mountains, getting out in nature. Another thing that I'm getting very, very strong is Mother Earth is calling us home, meaning Mother Earth really wants us to reconnect with her. I do feel like and feel very strongly that the quality of our surviving this pandemic is our connection to Earth. Because when we connect with Earth, we're going to connect with each other again. We're going to be able to be in that state where we're gathered in the energy of the belly, of the womb, of the root chakra, of the solar plexus, of the heart, and holding us together. We've been so separated for so long. We've all been living our lives in our separate homes with our walls between our homes, in our own cars, in our own offices, in our own world. And I do believe Mother Earth is calling us home. I do believe the quality of our survival will have a lot to do with reconnecting with Mother Earth. And when we reconnect with Mother Earth, we'll also begin to help to heal her. We'll also begin to start shifting things that are damaging her. And, many of us, and me included, feel like there's these great big, huge corporations and huge things that are doing so much of the damage that how can we ever fight that? Well, one of the answers is we can fight that by sending love to Mother Earth, by acknowledging her need, by being cautious and moderate in our own lives, but also getting out in nature, putting your bare feet on the ground, hugging a tree, breathing Mother Earth in consciously is going to be huge too. So I offer that to you, especially those of you in the colder climates right now. Going out into the mountains and sitting and breathing tree air probably isn't your first choice, and that's okay. But moving into spring and summer, we need to be doing a lot more of that. Also understand that in nature, there are these beautiful devas, these beautiful, what people call fairies, right? Little devas that are connected to the trees and the grasses and the soil and the sun and the air and the prana and the water, right? And it's the four elements. It's sun, air, water, and earth. And these devas need us to get back in touch with them. We've forgotten the magical part of nature. So many people see it as a resource. A lot of people see it as a place to go. We say, oh, hey, the tree's looking good as we're jumping in our car and driving off to work. And we're really being called to connect back into that. Take a little bit of time and be in that space. And I've been really guilty of not doing that. And so that's something that I have promised myself and the nature devas to do more of this year too, because it's really going to help. It's going to help our own health. It's going to help our connection to each other. It's going to help our connection to Mother Earth, which is going to help all of us, all of creation. As we look at the summer, I see summer almost as kind of a celebratory time. It's almost like I'm being shown like people running, how like people go to the beach or go, to the lakes or the oceans or even rivers and running. Oh my gosh, I'm here, and throwing off their shirt and kicking off their shoes and running into the water. That's the vision that I'm being given. I feel like that there's going to be a sense of, oh, I can finally move. I can finally run. I can finally be free. And I feel like we're going to have a little bit more feeling of freedom. But I also want to say it may be short-lived. It may be a little bit short-lived. I still feel like another thing where it's like the powers that be. I was calling them the dark overlords before. I can say that here. But the powers that be aren't going to want us to get too much freedom. So enjoy it while we have it. There's always just going to be a little pinch this year. We're going to be pinched still. It's not going to be total freedom, but we will begin to feel that releasing and the fear mongering and stuff. I do feel like we're going to see less of that. But like I said, this year is still a year of the ups and downs and ups and downs. So we're going to see it. Oh, thank God. Oh, crap. Oh, okay, it's getting better. Oh, crap. So be mindful of that as I'm speaking here, we're not talking about this straight across the board. Everything, all the good, and they're like, oh, thank God, the hope is still going to be a little, oh, it's going to be good. But I'm bringing this to you guys as well to put that into your consciousness. Because you know what? We're all making this. We're all creating this. We're all collaborating in the creation of this new earth that we're creating every single day. And so it's important for you to understand the alternatives to what is actually happening out there, because we are creating our own experiences, and it can be as dramatic and traumatic as you want it to be. But when you understand that the possibilities that I'm sharing with you here, like I said, the timelines, right? When you understand that these possibilities, and you are open that you would be here listening to this, it begins to, your subconscious mind, your conscious mind is like, yeah, but this can be. We begin to create it, right? So part of what this is about, and these messages that are coming through from angels, archangels, the intergalactic angelic realms, the ascended masters, our higher self collective beingness, I am that I am, wants us to know the possibilities, so that we'll begin to focus on those as we skirt around the other aspect of what is happening in this plane of duality to help move us through. So summer, good, fun, a little more breath. I feel like we're going to see people going on vacation, damn it. Come hell or high water, right? I'm going on vacation. I haven't had a vacation in a year and a half. I'm going on vacation. And that's wonderful. We kind of busting out. I feel as we move into fall next year, September, October, November, I feel like that we are going, matter of fact, it's interesting. I feel guys, I just had this interesting energy. I feel almost like tree sap begins to move. And I'm going to share that with you. And I don't really understand what that means, because I don't understand how tree sap moves. I know it moves up and down. I know that in the spring it moves up. I think in the summer it moves down, or the opposite, because I know in Canada, where they do the maple trees and collect maple syrup, there's a certain time in the fall, I think, that they tap the trees, and that's when the sap is moving. That's when they get all of that to create the syrups and the maple syrups. So there's something about the fall and the tree sap moving and what that means. And oh, this is so cool, you guys. What that means is the tree sap rising, but it has something to do with our own bodies, our own life force, because the tree sap is tree's life force. It's life force energy. There's something about our life force moving up and down. And I'm being told right now, and actually Archangel Metatron is coming. My eyes get all wonky because he's like, his energy is so big as they shift out. Big Archangel Michael's is big too, but it's a different frequency. But there is in the fall being really aware of our life force energy, being really aware of how our energy is rising and falling. The fall might be a very trying time. Fall might be a very trying time. I'm not being shown right now why or how. But tree sap, let's pay attention. We're gonna, we'll revisit this as the year goes on. The tree sap thing. I need to make a notation in my notes to revisit tree sap, see what that's about, because that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And I'm seeing forests of trees being tapped. And it's funny sometimes when I do this work and I'm like, you're showing me this really cool thing. What is it? And I kind of get it's because it's not totally to be known now, but they have given us that. So let's take that and see what happens with it. This is how this stuff works. We don't always get the answers we want. And maybe because it is far into the future, there's a lot to happen between now and then that will affect whatever that is, the meaning of whatever that is. So that's kind of cool. And I feel like as we move into the winter months at the end of the year, that there will be, again, that feeling of breathing, that heavy sigh, like, oh, as we move out and into that time of the holidays again. Whew, we're just getting over it. We've barely recovered from it. We're talking about it already. But I do feel that it's going to be I don't want to say better. Um, it's going to be lighter. There's not going to be so much heaviness as a general rule, but I do feel like there will be some things that will be affecting it, and I'm hearing money. So there's going to be something financial that will be affecting the holidays, but the how it affects humanity as a whole, and I'm being told, especially here in America and the consumer country of the world, um, it's gonna help us shift the way we do things. Maybe getting back to the natural homemade gifts, those kind of things, really, valuing family and friends. I do see people gathering together, so I feel like we're not gonna be in lockdown. I do feel like we're gonna be freer to be with each other and to enjoy each other then, but it's really interesting because I feel like kind of a little house on the prairie kind of a feeling where the consumerism and maybe, the money isn't there like it was, but getting creative and really valuing what we have and who we are as a people. I know a lot of times, during the great wars, World War One, World War II, even the smaller wars, if there are small wars, that have happened throughout this God, last century, that when the war is over and things get going, that people value life and each other so much more. And I feel like as we get to the end of 2021, that we're going to find that we're going to find people really valuing each other, their communities, their neighbors, their friends, their family. And so that's beautiful, and that's so appropriate for that time of year, or any time of year for that matter. But I'm excited for this year. I do. Oh, and Archangel Michael is, the politics are going to be all over the map. That's what Archangel Michael just said. It's going to be all over the map. We are not, whatever happens with the turnout, with all of this crazy stuff at the beginning of the year, like who is president? Who is it? What's going on? And I think, kind of all no, but it's still like, what's going on? I feel like we're going to kind of have that same feeling throughout the year. Like, who's in charge here? What's going on? Um, and it's something that's going to open our mind for us to realize that the president isn't really in charge, that there's something else at play. And I know many of you understand what I'm saying. Many of you understand the conspiracy theories that are flying around, that there's something else above the president that is a ruling faction, is a ruling arm of what is happening. But I believe, and we're going to be talking about this a lot more, is we are the sovereign beings of authority because we are the God beings, and those of us that are here for good and love and light, so important for us to hold that really strong because we affect the field. Our frequency affects the field, the morphogenic field, the field of creation. And light workers and healers, musicians, artists, authors, poets, all that are channeling love and light for the good of mankind and Mother Earth are really being called up. And I know a lot of you that are going to see this are like, yep, I'm feeling it. Yep, I'm feeling it. We're being called into play. And this is the other layer of all of this that I'm talking about is we're going to see, I'm going to put everybody in a nutshell. The light workers who are here, who know they have a part to play, you are being called on deck. What matters is your consciousness, how you view. No more separation. We are not separate from them. We are not separate from the dark. If we can perceive darkness, it's because we have it inside of us. It's our own darkness projected in the outside. We are not separate. We're not separate from God, and we're not separate from the darkness. We're not separate from each other. And I feel that over this year, that we're really going to come to understand that. We're really going to understand the importance of frequency, the frequency of thought, the frequency of emotion, that we're really going to understand how we affect each other with our frequencies. And like Tesla and Einstein both taught, and you guys hear me talk about this all the time, it's all about frequency. Healing is frequency. Communicating is frequency. Our words have frequency. Everything we do have frequency. Our emotions have frequency. Have you ever been around somebody who is so sad and so like maybe in depression or something like that? Sometimes it can be almost painful to be around them. That's why a lot of times people, especially with depression, but anything that is that kind of same frequency, find themselves alone because it's physically uncomfortable to be around someone in that state. And a lot of people can't handle it. Well, light workers, you can handle it. You might be sensitive to it, but when you learn how easily it is for you to raise your frequency simply by perceiving the world as differently than you have, and understanding you're not separate from that person with depression. If that person has come into your life, if that awareness has come into your life, it's because that is an aspect of you that we need to raise a frequency on. So instead of leaving your depressed friend, oh my God, I can't handle that because I'm going out with my fun friends, hold that space for them. See them as healed. Send them love. Don't send them, oh my God, it's so sad. Da, 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 da. No, they don't need that frequency. They've got enough of that. But oh my God, you are an amazing being. You are healed and you are whole. You are sacred and you are holy. You are a gift to this world and you are needed. This depression that you feel you are suffering is just part of the illusion that all of humanity has been suffering from. But I hold you in my mind up above that. It's almost like rescuing a drowning swimmer. I hold you up. And when you send those energies to someone who's struggling in that way, or any way emotionally, addiction, anybody that's caught in abuse, anybody that's caught, in lifestyles that are painful, we can lift them. And light workers, you're being called on deck. And I mean, every single one of you, no matter what you do or how you do it, that are working in light and in love. This is a lesson we must learn now in order to help each other and to do the work that we're here to do. We must lift each other up. We must stop sending worry and, oh, I'm so sad for you. And I'm so worried. No more. I see you as whole. And it doesn't mean, yeah, you're whole. I'm going to go play with my good friends. You might need to sit, or you might need to sit in meditation and hold that loved one in your vision in front of you and just send that love, send that love, send that love, send that love. There is nothing more healing, more powerful. There's no pill, no vaccine, no doctor anywhere who's more powerful than that. And this is a new level of healing that we're all going to be stepping into. Many of you already have. A new level of awareness, a new level of consciousness, to where we're truly going to heal these illnesses of separation, these illnesses of unawareness of their true power, and bring them back into power. Because I want to tell you that most of the people that are suffering the worst are the light workers that we need, right? Controversy alert. Many of the light workers and the empaths and the sensitive ones have been targeted so that they would not rise to their fullness. Targeted by, I'm going to say it, video games, movies, TV shows, drugs. If our leaders, you and I even, really wanted to see drugs gone, they'd be gone. They are left here for a reason. And that just, when I say that, it's like, eek. And part of it is to dampen the light, especially of our kids, especially those that are under about the age 35, 36. The whole homeless thing is just out of control. And a lot of that are our light workers and our beloved, 144,000 that have been targeted to dampen that. And to dampen that light. And so what they need is their light back. And because we're all one, our light is their light. And so we must We must begin to remember their light for them until they can remember it for themselves. And Archangel Michael is actually, he's applauding you. Oh, I want to cry. He's applauding those of you that just now, who just heard it, who are like, oh, who just got it. Every single one of you. This is such a grand understanding that is going to help us get through this 2021 time frame to where we begin to see the light and pull our awareness and our energy away from the lower frequencies. So it's going to be a very interesting year. There's a lot of other things at play here, but as anybody who does work like this understands that predicting the future, especially right now, is damn near impossible because of how quickly everything is moving and shaking and changing and people doing about faces and stuff. So this January 1st, 2021 is what I'm seeing and feeling from this point forward, kind of down the line. As we move along, we'll get more and more of this. And Archangel Michael is laughing because he's saying he can't even predict the future. He's going, humans, but it's fun. They love it. The angels love us so much. They're just like, they're amazed that we're here and we're still doing this. And all of you who are here, all of you that are here right now, live through 2020, coming into 2021, you're here. You are magnificent light warriors, light workers, love warriors, healers, leaders, awakeners, giants of amazingness. You are intergalactic, multi-universal beings of love and light. We're all here together. We're none of us alone in doing this because we are all one. And I'm just so grateful that you're here. And I'm so grateful that I have this platform to reach out to you and to, my heart is just like, oh, and just be here with you, So thank you so much for listening. I am Michele Amburgey, the Awakener. Welcome to Awoken Messages. We're going to start getting these out on a weekly basis again. As best I can. Sometimes the energy is not there. And so as much as I'm a Virgo, so it's like I want everything on a schedule, but sometimes the energy is not there. And so I'm not going to force it. So you may find we're going to have weekly messages, but they may not be like every day on Sunday. So you'll need to check in. Also, if you're interested at all, I have a Facebook group, a private Facebook group called Soulful Living Tribe that you are welcome to come and join. And we do all kinds of fun stuff. I stream some Facebook Lives into there from my Facebook business page, Intuitive Michele Amburgey, which you are welcome to come over and like, and so you can see all that. And I also have a YouTube channel, Michele Amburgey, and I'm going to be working on that and getting that all juicy and good stuff in there. I have some older stuff in there, but one of the things over last week, I took last week off. I was told it's time to get that YouTube up and going, and all the work that we're doing with Awoken TV. I want to share with you that Awoken TV is shifting, changing, and growing so fast that I feel a little bit like I'm just hanging on. It's like, woohoo, here we go. And so super fun. We are going to be changing our where we broadcast from to open it all up for more classes, interactive classes, which is, I'm so excited. I've got several things coming up. There is a spiritual awakening soul spa day, which is all day long meditation and processing and healing and shifting and changing, and then restructuring, rebuilding your energy fields, connecting you up to the 12 chakra system. Oh my God, it's like 6 hours long. So I got spiritual awakening soul spa day. I want to do a chakra tea party, which is super cool. I'm going to do some other interactive kind of classes. I might even start up like a meditation for us to just be able to gather together and meditate. So I'm going to be on there really good, and I'll be getting some VOD, some video on demand classes as well that you can join in with. So we have, and that's just me. We've got like, I don't know, 50 people on there. It's going to be amazing. We are going to have documentaries. We're going to have films, spiritual films. I just had a flash in my head. We're going to have some good stuff. We're going to have some stuff that's like way out there that is so exciting to teach you, to reach out to you, to connect to you guys, to help walk us all through this year and into the future, to help all of us co-create this beautiful, amazing thing that we all desire. And we can do it. And matter of fact, it's already done. We just need to begin to see it. We need to allow it to be in our mind, in our subconscious mind. See it, be it, live it, and it is. Build it and they will come. So thank you all for coming. Again, I am Michele Amburgey. I do offer private sessions, intuitive readings, healing, coaching. I have empowerment life coaching, and I'm beginning to do what Spirit downloaded on this last week too, is new earth coaching. So it's going to begin working with people who are the new earth creators and the new earth visionaries, moving into the co-creation process at that kind of a level. So my website, micheleamburgey.com, MICHELE, 1L, AMBURGEY, micheleamburgey.com. And I'm here at Awoken TV, awoken.tv. Ooh, we are the rocket ship. Stay here in the rocket ship and we're going to have a great year. I love you guys. You are all magnificent. We are one, sacred and holy. I am that I am. So are you.